And we're going to start it off talking about, we're not going to get super deep into March Madness overall, but I did, because we primarily talk mostly NBA basketball here. But I did want to point out something that took place today, because I think that it is going to be like the precursor to a pretty, popular conversation once the offseason begins. Ja Morant goes for a triple-double today as he leads Murray State to an upset, kind of a blowout, though, an upset blowout victory over the highest seeded Marquette team. If you know anything about the March Madness, the NCAA tournament, you know that 5-12 matchup is usually where there's an upset that happens. And it happened again here. The 12th seeded Murray State Racers knock off the number 5 Marquette squad. But Ja Morant with the triple-double, man. Come on. I mean, like, this kid is really, doing something. He's doing it in the moment. He's doing it on the biggest stage that he can possibly have, which is the NCAA tournament, and coming up with a huge game. I'm telling you, even if they lose the next round, right? Even if that happens, he's already, I think, improved his draft stock even more so than he did in the regular season. Because one of the things that people were saying about him was, he's got good numbers. He's playing pretty good, but he's not doing it against big time competition.
You know what bothers me about that, B?
What's that?
But there's a lot of guys who aren't playing against big time competition. They're like, the whole NCAA is just top D1 schools, and everything else is Division II. Like, they don't have these, fringe schools out there. Like, there aren't NBA players that come out of these fringe schools and prospects that come out of these fringe schools. And every time there is one, they all get a triple-double. No, Ja Morant, he's like I think they say he's the first 20-10, like, NCAA player, period, 20 points and 10 assists.
Yeah.
Like, that's and the thing about Ja Morant is he's so ridiculously athletic that the skills that he's using are clearly going to translate. And I don't think the level of competition inside of the Division I is as big of a leap as it is from Division I to the NBA.
Oh, absolutely not. Oh,
right?
No.
So, so that competition thing, that really feels a lot like something people say just to be saying. Because what you watch Mitchell Robinson work out, and you're like, uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the thing that struck me because he was an unknown, and you look at him up and you see the workouts, you're like, uh-oh. Not that you can tell a player's entire thing, but a full year of totally dominating, playing well against the better teams, and just being far and away a monster. Ja Morant, I'm very happy for him the way he was. And that's why early in the year when we talked about the draft, and you said, did I want Zion to come to the Knicks? I was like, if we can get Ja Morant, I am not mad. Like, if we missed the first pick or even the second pick and wound up with Ja, I am thrilled because I think he's crazy good.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, man, I think the small school thing does have some merit, or some, like, when they take a little bit of a shine off a kid because he goes to a smaller school. I think it can be valid in some instances, and I'll tell you when that is. When the player is not uber athletic.
Correct. If he's undersized, if he's not athletic, if he can't shoot, then you say, against a better defense, will he be able to do anything? Against people, but Ja Morant is 6'2", almost 6'3", lightning quick, and just almost jumped over. Did you see that dunk that he put on my man from Marquette?
Marquette, the two-hand dunk. He just threw it down. And then, did you see the step back three that he hit? They hit the guy and gave him the 2K animation. I mean, so, like, there's been guys back in the day. I'm gonna throw some old names out, and y'all gonna be like, "Oh wow, Harold Arsenault." Guys like that. I mean, these are guys who were scoring machines. This is the type of player that's scoring machines for smaller schools. But they had like you said, had a physical deficiency. They weren't blazing fast, or they weren't quite tall enough, but they found a niche to score. Those guys like that, sometimes, yes, if you talk about the level of competition they've been playing against, then you can say, yeah, you might be right. It might not work out. But when you got an athlete on Ja Morant's level, I don't think there's going to be a problem. John Morant's going to run past people in the NBA.
Yes.
He's going to jump over people.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like if a guy has legit 3-point range, the line, the court dimensions don't change.
No.
If a guy has incredible athleticism, speed, jumping ability, that's not going to change. And the thing about Ja is he's so clearly by far the best player in that entire skill set of schools, that entire talent range.
Yeah.
That I do think it's a little ridiculous to put on him. So congrats to them. And I will say, even though I'm not a huge college basketball guy, I have watched a lot more college basketball this year. Not just Duke, not just Murray State, but just a lot of the games have been really good and really interesting this year.
Yeah.
Almost that Golden State effect where so much talent went to Duke that everybody else is like really competing to scratch and claw. And also the senior factor too, like teams with a lot of seniors bring the matchup of like maturity versus talent, which in college can be a real factor in those matchups.
Yeah, I love college basketball. I always have. Actually, I was primarily a college basketball fan early on when I was first actually building my love for basketball.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably because when I was a kid, the Bulls were so bad. Like a lot of people like from Chicago, when they were a kid, they grew up and Michael Jordan was like the first guy they knew. But when I was a kid, Reggie Theus, Artis Gilmore, Quentin Daly, that was our team, and it wasn't that good, I remember like the first time the Bulls made the playoffs in my lifetime, I was like, really? Like, really? That's what's going on? So, yeah, I mean, so I gravitated to DePaul, because DePaul had great teams in the early 80s with Mark Aguirre, Terry Cummings, Tyrone Corbin, guys like Kenny Patterson, Walter Downing. They had great teams, and they were like the #1 basketball story in the city of Chicago. So, that's kind of the way it was. So I had a love for college basketball early on.